grass there. What's going on, my dudes? James here, living life from dusk till dawn, as always. And I'm actually going to put this on the ground so I can have more working space. But today, we are installing another upgrade for Sasha and my 2017 Tacoma. And I don't know if you can see my head. I think it's cut off a little bit. Hold on, let me fix that. For the second time, I have replaced taillights. And that video should already be out on the channel. They're pretty cool. There's a couple little interesting things about them. But I was looking at ways that we could protect them in the future. Now, I can't go out because I'm in the moving process and I just don't have the extra cash, but I can't go out and buy a steel bumper with the swing arm like I want to, right? That'll give a little bit of rearward protection to the lights. But the bumpers that I want also come with, the high clearance ones at least, have kind of a bull bar, if that's what you call it, a little rail that goes down the side of the truck and gives you even more protection so that if you like fall into a tree or something, you don't crack your tail light, it lands on the weight of the bumper, right? Or the weight of the truck goes onto the bumper and then on the tail light. Anyway, so in the meantime, and I really don't expect a whole lot out of what I'm about to install today, so I'll preface by saying that. However, I think for small dings and you know, little impacts and stuff, it might make a difference. But I bought, move these papers out of the way, I bought this. So what this is a metal cover or case that goes around the outside of the light. And so this is going to mount just like that on the outside of the light and give you just a little bit more impact protection. Now obviously, like I can't bend this like this because it's strong. I think it's aluminum. I don't really know exactly what this is made out of. I think it's aluminum, but it's still, it's strong, right? However, it's not going to withstand the weight of the truck. It's not a skid plate, right? But it might prevent a future crack, or at least a shatter. So, there's not much that goes into it. That's pretty much it. We have a couple of brackets that run from the bolt edges. It connects in these four corners, and those are in a separate box. But basically, we pop the tail light off, connect the brackets to this, connect this to the tail light from the interior bracket, which is these rear ones right here are going to wrap around the edge of the tail light, and then the bracket for the more rearward facing holes is just going to connect to a couple of screws over here on the bed side, and I'll show you those. But it won't, at least I don't think, not really, it won't inhibit any of your light functionality. So obviously these are aftermarket tail lights, but they're meant for the stock ones. So it very much looks like the stock tail light setup. So you'd have your upper and lower brake light, you'd have your reverse light. I think it was right here in the center, and all of that. So I'm a little worried about the driver's side because it's been hit twice by me into trees and dirt mounds. So I'm worried that it's not going to line up super well. But if you guys haven't hit anything yet, this might line up really well. But these were not expensive. I forget the name of the company. I can tell you, it's right here. Tyger, Tyger. It's got a cool little logo printed into the metal there. But I found it on Amazon, so they were cheap and hopefully durable. And if you'd like to check them out, link down in the description. Otherwise, yeah, you saw what they look like on the truck because I put it in the whatever. You get it. Let's get right into it. So in the kit, of course, you've got your driver and passenger side tail light covers. I'm going to put the driver side one away for now. But check out the brackets and the hardware that we got here. I'll just pull them out and set them down. We got that one, and it looks like this one it doesn't have a letter on here, so I'm going to have to kind of figure it out based on context. Yep, we have a couple of little, I forget what they're called, but like threaded body clips basically. And so these will clip on, and they're probably replacements just for the ones that are already there because they get stripped after a while. But they clip onto the plastic of the housing of the light, and they give you a threaded insert so that when you run the bolt through the body of the car, it threads into something. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so these actually came in two different colored packages, kind of, two different colored things. You can see the bubble wrap. One of them is green, one of them is clear. So I have a feeling that the green bag goes with the driver's side and the clear bag goes with the passenger side, because that's what they were hooked into. So I'm going to put all the green ones to the side now without taking them out. And the clear ones I will take out, and we'll see if they are all indeed different. And then this looks like little rubber gaskets, probably to put against the paint on the side of the truck, so that where the brackets are, it's not rubbing. That would be my biggest guess, because when you're off-roading, things bounce a lot. So this has a B on it. The B's on the other side, and it was in clear plastic. So I have a feeling quality control maybe not the greatest. And these are supposed to be set up like that with the colors on colors, but we're not indeed done that way. But let's see. Okay, so we do have an A, which is the upper left for the driver's side. We do have an F. We have two Fs. Oh, no, we have the H. The F is the one that we were missing up there. And of course we have a C down here. And then we have the D, which is down there. So it looks like these two got swapped. And as you can see, they are indeed not the same bracket. So, oh well, not a big deal. Cool, don't worry about that. Warranty information and stuff. I've never done this before, obviously. I'm just going to kind of follow the instructions, but it gives you, for the size of your fastener, the size of your nuts. So there's ones that come here that are specific for the brackets, and then of course the ones like the 10s and the 12s that are going to be attached to the tail light themselves, and it gives you your torque value based on the class of bolt. I'm going to do hand tight because it doesn't matter. So yeah, they've got some pretty decent pictures. I've already looked through this, and just to kind of like figure out exactly how this is supposed to go. So we got ourselves our 10mm here. Undo this upper bolt, and then I think it's the bottom one, but if I'm wrong, I'm going to be sad. I am not wrong. And then now with those two bolts out, you can literally just pull. It comes out that easy. Pull the housing out. So I'm just leaving this plugged in. You could unplug it if you want to. All the plugs only go to one spot, and in fact, you know what? I'm going to do just that because I'm an idiot. So go ahead and unplug these. It's literally a little button on the top that you can push down and then pull, and these will unclip eventually. Sometimes it takes a little bit of mustard. So I've got bracket E here, E for echo, and that's the shape that it is. But the side that is turning back on itself is the side that will be mounting to the upper portion of the outer edge of the rear tail light. So if the tail light sits like this on the truck, the upper pin is the one that we are going to be connecting to. And technically, it will be, with it turning on itself like this, hooking over the outside of the light and then setting on it just like that. So we need, that's what these are going to come in handy for, a spot for the screw to go. And so we want it to be relatively hidden, so we're going to come in from, if it's mounted like this, come in from the bottom, and we're going to align that little threaded screw hole there, and then it's just going to kind of hold itself on. There's nothing too fancy about it, but yeah, so that one will be hook in just like that. And then we can grab our other smaller bracket that looks like nothing else, and once again, it kind of folds over on itself, and that is going to end up going on the pin just like that. Same concept, except this time we're going to take the clamp or the screw thing and put it on the top so that it's hidden by the metal on the top side, and it's going to rest just like that. Easy. Now these other brackets are a little bit different because the screw is going to be the same one that we took out of the truck, and it's going to be running through the bracket and then into the body of the car, and then, excuse me, and then back into the housing, just like, well, like normal. So when these get attached, we'll do it after we get the light, or the cover installed on the light. So if I hold this up just like that, we should be able to align the holes from our two bracket pieces. Now we get to work on these brackets. Now the nice thing about these ones is that they have a threaded hole, and so we can take this, move you over here. You see that? Yeah. You take this, align it. Oh, this actually might be the wrong side. Align it with that hole And there you have it. It will line up with the hole that goes into the body of the truck. Simple. We'll do the same with the bottom. Once again, making it snug, not tight. And once again, giving up on the lock washer. And here we are back again at the rear of the truck, making sure all of our plugs are in nice and tight. So you hear a click, like that, and like that. And then once again, we'll be aligning those pins with the pre-existing holes. And these brackets are actually going on the opposite side. So as you can see, the tail light is on the inside of the plastic of the bedside, but this bracket is actually going to mount on the outside. So make sure that you got it set up in there nice and good. And then we'll take our OEM bolt and run it through the bracket and then into the tail light. Do the same top and bottom, and then we'll tighten these two first, and then we'll go back and tighten the threaded screws for the bash guard. I don't know what I'm calling this thing. So now we go back and we tighten all these up. To be honest with you, I was expecting this to sit a whole lot closer to the light. I mean, it's good that there's a gap so that small bumps and stuff, it doesn't get damaged, or the light doesn't get damaged from a gentle tap. However, I would have expected it to sit a little bit closer. But I'm hoping that being, I don't think triangulated is the right word, but boxed or enclosed, because you have, you know, the pressure can be, of a hit, can be spread out in multiple directions of force. And so considering that this is strong in multiple directions between the brackets and between the shape, I'm hoping that this is plenty strong to keep a taillight from getting cracked. But I suppose time will tell, because I'm very likely to do that again. So something else to note, if you're putting the brackets that have the welded nut in place and you're confused on what goes where, obviously you recognize that that bracket needs to go out and away, so it needs to be able to wrap around the outside of the housing. But you'll notice, if I put these side by side, that the triangular slice follows the shape of the edge of the metal. So if I were to put this one here, it's going to stick out a little bit and look funky, but that looks like it follows the shape really well. And then if you go down here once again, follows the shape really well. So just something to think about if you're not sure. And then something else that I totally forgot to mention, and I totally didn't do, and I'm probably not going to, because I don't really care that much. But these little rubber or foamy kind of bumpers, I don't know, whatever you call this, little foam pieces, they're going to go between the bracket and the plastic of the light housing, where that bracket is going to rub against the light housing potentially. So that's especially important a little bit further, like on the back side, but like I said, I'm not going to worry about it because I really don't care. That plastic is not anything that's ever going to be seen, A, and B, it's an off-road truck. It's kind of messed up already, so I don't care. And I'm sure you're all thinking it. Yes, the truck is running. And yes, the brackets do indeed fit inside of the shut tailgate. Looks great. All in all, I'm pretty happy with it. Like I said, I was kind of expecting them to hug the light a little bit more than they do, but it's also, once again, not that big of a deal, because if I do have a small impact and this gets dented, it won't touch the light, which is a good thing. But yeah, so they look really good. We'll see how they hold up over time. I'm curious to know how this coating holds up too, especially with trees and stuff scraping against it, because I'll show you a little bit of B-roll, but they do stick out pretty good from the side of the truck. So I'm worried that the tires are going to be kicking up a whole lot of rocks and stuff and end up messing up this inner edge here. But luckily, like I said, I'm pretty sure this is aluminum, right? This is steel, and my watch is magnetic, and I got nothing. So because it's aluminum, it won't rust, but it could still get damaged easier than steel because it's a softer metal. So we'll see how it does over time. And I don't know, if you guys are interested to see over the next like 6 months to a year, drop a comment. Let me know how long about you want me to go until I do a tailgate update video, and then I'll get one of those out for you. But super neat, and hopefully it'll keep me from breaking my taillights. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please come back and see me again. As always, there's not a whole lot of upgrades on my vehicles going right now just because of the position that we're in our life, as I've talked about before. However, they're still coming. They're just a little bit slower, so that's a good thing because that means I get to spend more time on the videos that I am doing. But anyways, with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to live from dusk till dawn, my dudes.